What's happening, guys? So this video, while it will probably help some other people, it's really kind of a message just to myself. A message that is very important that I need to learn from, and that I know a lot of people do the same thing, so you could probably learn from it too, but it's just something that I really need to nail home. And doing this video is kind of a way for me to remind myself and show you guys some footage from this training week. This last week has been up and down, and it started off really poorly. Monday I had a really bad session. I showed up and I was just extremely tight. I couldn't get loose to save my life. I just didn't quite feel right. I wasn't overly tired, but I just didn't feel quite right, and the weights felt heavier than they normally would, and it wasn't a good session. I really struggled through, capped off with deadlifts. By the end I was just so smoked that they felt terrible, and what should normally be like a 7 or 8 RPE felt like a 9.5 RPE, and it was really tough, and it was draining, and I got to the end of it and I was just kind of going through all these things in my mind, like, okay, what's wrong with my training? What's wrong with my recovery? What's wrong with my nutrition? What's wrong with my sleep patterns? What are all the different things that I could possibly think of that are why I had this bad session? And it's just crazy to do that. One bad session is just a bad session. It's gonna happen. You're gonna have bad sessions. I've had bad sessions before. I'm gonna have more bad sessions, and so are you. And it's just so important not to start panicking and start freaking out every time you have one bad session. It's going to happen, okay? But one bad session means nothing. Now, if you go for 2 weeks of nothing but bad sessions for 2 weeks in a row, yeah, you might have a bit of a problem and something you need to look into, but one bad session does not mean anything. As I was kind of doing this, thankfully I stopped myself and I just went, Colin, dude, you had one bad session. It happens. Most of the time when you have a bad session, the next time you come out, you absolutely smoke it, you destroy it. So stop worrying about it and just wait for Wednesday to come along and just do the best you can on Wednesday and stop freaking out. You're doing things right. And sure enough, I come Wednesday and I killed it. I felt fantastic. You know, squats were feeling light. I felt like I could have done them forever. Bench felt pretty good. I'm trying to widen my grip a little bit and see how that feels and try to shorten the range of motion, and that actually felt pretty good, so I'm encouraged by that. Got to deadlifts, my nemesis, and I did 440 pounds, and it felt easier than the 415 did on Monday. I'm in the start of a new block here. My meet's about 11 weeks out, so the weights are starting to get a little bit heavier, that's what I love. That's my bread and butter. That's what I'm passionate about. I hate volume blocks, I can't lie. I like to push heavy weights, so I'm excited about that. I'm excited to be doing heavier weights. But the point is, you cannot stress and think that things are wrong just because you had one bad session. Don't go down that road. And this is why, even as a coach myself, I found it so important to get myself a coach, and why I think so many people could benefit from it, just because you take yourself out of it. You're too involved in your own results, and you're too invested in yourself, and every time something goes wrong, you start to panic a little bit, and you do things that you would never do as a coach for your client, that I would never do. I'd start to do these things. So the moral of the story here is, don't worry about one bad session. Don't get freaked out about it. It's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. It's just the way it goes, and you just got to move on and look to the next session. This footage is actually coming out Friday, and I will be heading out of town around noon with my family for a long weekend. I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to do another video for Monday. I'm really hoping to, but I'm not sure. We're not coming back till Sunday. I'm not sure what time. And maybe I can throw up my AMRAP sets. By the time you're watching this footage, I'll actually probably be in the gym doing my squat and bench AMRAPs for the week. I'll be doing 430 pound squats and 265 pound bench presses. I've already did the deadlifts. I had to move those up earlier because I can't do deadlifts at my local gym, but I don't have time to drive to Powerhouse, which is 45 minutes each way on this Friday, so I moved them up to Wednesday, and that's why you already saw them. But I am rambling at this point. Anyways, don't stress about one day at the gym. Keep pushing forward. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.